Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. I'm in my pajamas. It's early morning and I did sleep in today. I have been known to get up at 4 o'clock, work for, 4 hours, and then go back to sleep for an hour or two, then get back up. That's how crazy my schedule is. Because I am so excited about what I do, I will get all these ideas, wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and come down and start writing these e-courses and shooting videos. Well, I can't shoot videos at night because I like to use natural light. But just before I start my day right now, I'm having my coffee with you. I love you guys. I'm not going to cry, okay? I'm not going to cry. When you go into that euphoric state, you just appreciate so much. And gratitude is the biggest door opener to manifesting what you desire. It's a feeling of love. It's a feeling of appreciation for what you have. Those who have shall receive more. You can't fake that. So I want to ask you today what you're spending your time on, because this is an exercise I think will help you every single day to get closer to manifesting what you desire. And by the way, this can happen immediately. I'm getting people that are having stuff happen immediately, because once you become aware, if you grasp it and it clicks, you can just completely switch over to that new person who stops the negative thinking. Oops. It's morning, I have trash pickups, so we're going to have to listen to a little bit of background noise, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going here. All right, so see, this is the beauty of having the messy mop hair. I like that term. Somebody went and got my hair cut. She went to the hairdresser and said, "I want the messy mop look." Yeah, oh, cool. Because guess what? When you get up in the morning and you have it done your hair, your messy mop look, it just doesn't look any different than when you do it. And people like it. I like it. That's what counts. All right, so let's get busy. I want you to remember, and if you can't grasp some of these concepts, that's okay. You don't have to believe it. How do I believe this? What videos do I have to watch on quantum physics and stuff? Which, by the way, I think you should, but your eyes might glaze over. Some of it can be pretty boring. Quantum physics is proven that we are one energy, that you actually affect through your thoughts and observation the results of anything you look at. You change matter through your observation, but your feelings and thoughts, your beliefs behind that are what drive what happens, the result. So it's not just, well, I observe a tree, so now it's a tree. If you observe a tree or let's say anything that you observe, and you decide in your head, you're convinced of what it's going to do, you have an influence on that. Now remember something, why do some things just not happen? Things have free will. Other beings have free will. So if you're, I'm going to look at my ex, boyfriend, and I'm going to see him in my mind, and we're going to be hugging and kissing. Well, if he's done with you, geez, for Lord's sake, can you move on? How many of you are like hanging around for, for somebody who's taken, let him go, bless him, move on. You think that's the only person in the world? You know what? That's the ego saying my feelings are more important, and that you're so hung up on those feelings you're experiencing, you don't realize that's just you as a human being experiencing those feelings. That's it. You, the spirit world, gets to make a decision about that situation, and that's what counts, my friend. What decision are you making? Are you like, oh, well, they're with somebody, but, I'm going to do all this, man. No, you're not. You know what you're doing? You're just sending conflicting vibes out. You're consuming your time, and that's what we're going to talk about today. That person, bless them, you want them happy. If you truly love them, most of you, I don't really believe you do, because if you did, you wouldn't even think twice about saying, you know what, they're happy. They didn't want to be with me. How can I change to be that person who's going to either attract them back if anything happens in the future and they meet me and I'm a new person. I'm the person that's more desirable. And then you work on you. Say, what do I learn? What did I learn from that? How did I lose that person in the first place? Was it them? Was it me? Was it a combination? Take a look at that, learn from the situation, and then go over and say, that other person that I desire, there's somebody just like them out there for me. And I need to focus on that because that's an opportunity that's going to come to me because their free will is desiring it too. And we're going to meet on that frequency. Remember, you don't attract anybody. There's no power that brings something to you. You are the power. You are everything. And that, everything has its individual choice as to what it's doing with its own expression. So if it's on a different frequency and you're not on it, not going to happen, my friend. Move on. So this is where I see a lot of us included, we all do it, right? The thoughts and focus is just really, I don't want to say waste of time, but for you it's a waste of time. What are you focusing on? Because I want you to think about yourself as an infinite being. Again, you don't have to believe this. You never were anything but energy. You have always existed. You always will. You come from ultimate love. You are an expression of that. You've been an expression in many, many forms. This isn't your only one. Who knows how many you've been before this. You've expressed yourself in everything, not just a human being. So if you don't believe that, that's fine. But I want you to remember, you do know, and we all know for sure, that the one expression that you are in this, despite the other dimensions, all this stuff, I'm not going there, this moment, in this time, on this planet, is limited. It's always the now, but this lifetime story that you're expressing yourself in has an expiration date till your energy transforms into something else, right? There's another quest, another expression. You're always expanding. So you're not going to be in this human body forever. Jeez, who would want that anyways, right? Let's move on to really other cool stuff. Now I want you to imagine yourself in this lifetime. And I want you to calculate the minutes. Let's just calculate the hours. Let's say you're going to live to be 100. Most of you are probably, almost halfway through that, right? 100 years. It goes pretty quick, doesn't it? Right? It really goes quick. It's like, whoa, I'm halfway through that. All right, click, 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 click. Every minute we're sitting here. Click, 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 click. What are you doing with that minute? How many of you write me and sit there and spend that valuable minute and hour worrying about stuff? The worry changes nothing. It keeps you in the negative space that you don't desire. It doesn't contribute to the change that you want, you say you want. All right? Somebody wrote me, they wanted me to do a video on the subconscious. I'm going to do that after this. But I want to focus right now on, because this is this is the subconscious. It's conditioning. That's what the subconscious is. And I'll talk more about that in the next video. But the subconscious, in my opinion, is the brain that's been wired and conditioned. The ultimate you can switch on a dime, has no limits, is not dense. But because we're in these bodies and we're living in this, the lower frequency you are, the more you feel like a human being that's powerless. The more you go into a higher frequency, the more detached you become to the body and the more expansive your energy. I have a meditation where you expand your energy out. Energy expansion. You can type that in there and look up energy expansion, put it on your playlist, meditations, and watch that baby, because I'm going to tell you what we do. You are the thought. You are the thing you want to manifest. You are the action that takes place. You are the energy that does everything. You are it. You are that higher power on the other side that's helping you here. You are it. Again, you don't have to believe this stuff, but here's what I know you believe, hopefully. That every split second, you get to choose what you do with this 100 years, 50, 60 years. Tick, tick, tick. What's up here? What is in that little brain? You're manifesting that. Well, I want this and I don't know how. Okay, you are, that's it. That's it. So you guys think that there's something over here separate from you, and then you're over here and you want to get out of this. No, no. This is your life right here. Forget what's over there. Forget what I want. You are so entrenched in this thought right now that you can't possibly go over to that thing that you desire. It's impossible. Quantum physics. You know I love the science. That's the part of quantum physics that we know is not a theory. I'm manifesting right now, but how do I get out of it? Knock it off. You're in control of your thoughts. Who's doing it? Nobody's making you feel anything. You're choosing that. And you get to choose not to allow somebody else's actions or their dense whatever they're doing, because they're humans too. They're part of your energy. Neither good nor bad. Some people are not on a higher frequency. So what? Get over it. We're all going to find our way back, and we're going to be on the other side talking, wow, remember when you do that? Hey, that time that you... Yeah, but what did you learn from it? You're right, I had this epiphany from that. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, oh boy, by the way, I forgot. We arranged this in advance. And boy, I didn't like you when I was a human, but I really had a breakthrough. I learned so much from that experience. I learned that we are one. I got past the density. I learned forgiveness and true love, which is what Christ and all the prophets did. Didn't matter what we did. There was absolute, ultimate forgiveness and love no matter what. So why are you not doing it? You're not God. You're part of God. You're an expression of God. What are you doing with that? A lot of you aren't doing a very good job right now. I'm sorry to say it. I'd say very few people write me with the nasty stories, and the rest of you are knocking it out of the park. I'm getting amazing emails of miracles, breakthroughs, people changing their lives. Lisa Kay, I call her my Virginia. Yes, Virginia, there really is a Santa Claus, and now she believes it. She knows it, no matter what anybody tells her. And her life has changed completely. Why? She sees the world completely different. She's taking that minute and saying, what am I doing with this minute of time? Where's my focus? All right, there is a negative thought. I'm not going to react to that. I'm going to observe it, because you are the higher self. I'm going to observe it, because that's the ego and density. That's the brain that's conditioned. And I just keep going back over and over and doing the same silly stuff that's not doing anything for me. What am I going to do at that moment? Because it's ticking, ticking, ticking. And guess what? You can change all of that. You can turn around. And that next hour, you can turn over here, do my 3-second manifesting, and then the 60-second one. That's when you really have to dig deep and start to get rid of that cause of that negative thought. We got to get it out of there, because if you don't get rid of that belief, you'll keep generating that negative thought, and then you come over here and you're diluting your results of the thing you want to manifest, because you keep spending that next minute on the thing you don't want. This cannot show up. It is impossible. If I start 2 illustrations and they're identical, and 90% of the time I'm working on this one, and it's really ugly, and then I'm doing a beautiful scene of, the woods with little bunnies and stuff over here, and I only spend 10% of the time. Which one's going to be completed first? The nasty one. This could take years, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got one little bunny over here and part of a tree. It never seems to show up. Why? Because you're focused on the nasty illustration. You're visualizing this. You're painting it. You're doing it. I don't want this. Then stop putting your attention on it. Go over here and draw the little bunnies. That minute that you spent on there is your life ticking away. And you're choosing. You are choosing. No one is making you do this. No one. I don't care. There's always lessons to be learned. And if you're stuck in a house with somebody who's negative, whatever, there, my friend, is the biggest challenge. Can you be the peace? Yeah, but they're really, so what? They don't make you act a certain way. The problem can be, for most of us, is the conditioning. That conditioned reaction. But this is your challenge, is to change that. I am no longer going to react that way. When somebody says something negative, I'm not going to absorb it. I am not going to react to it. These are words. Words are powerful only if you allow them to be. There are no shadow people if you don't allow them in your space. There's nothing negative unless you believe it exists. That's why it exists for people. That's why people believe in Satan and all these nasty aliens. Whether they're out there or not is irrelevant. What you're putting your focus on creates your reality. And if you don't want that stuff in your life and you do not look at it, you go over here and you draw your bunnies. You guys aren't drawing your bunnies that are still struggling. You keep going back over here and going, but I'm almost finished with this. This nasty scene of gosh knows what. I don't even know what it is. It's so evil. You know, you're going to, pain, and so-and-so said this. I don't feel sorry for you because you have my power. You have the power of the universe. And you know what's really sad? You're just not using it. You're choosing to stay over here. Now let's say you don't have a horribly ugly picture. Maybe you've got one that's not so great. But it's still not the picture you want. It's not the illustration you want. You're painting something that's like, you know, some house out in some place or whatever. And over here you have a beautiful, you know, bungalow on the lake overlooking the mountains and stuff. And this one isn't so much. If you're not experiencing that, you're still focused on this. You may have looked at this picture so long that you can't even imagine that over there that you really want. You say you want. What are you doing with that moment that's ticking by? Where are those thoughts? I want you to think of it this way because I want you to understand how precious your life is. I think I have a reflection over here. How precious is your life? And when you die, what did I do with those minutes? I sat there thinking negative thoughts. Why? It made no sense. The situation's the situation. The thoughts that I'm doing or, you know, having is totally my choice. The situation is a situation. My interpretation is my choice. The minutes in my life that are ticking away, my negative thoughts and reactions are the minutes ticking away. Those are 100% my choice. Right? Your choice. The incident, the situation is what it is. Everything else around it is completely the minutes of your life ticking away. What are you going to do with it? Because when you switch those thoughts and you decide that this situation is no longer a problem, it's something that you're going to resolve and not see as something that happens to you, but a gift for you to make some serious changes, then you use those thoughts and those minutes in your life to elevate your thinking. What is a solution? What do I need to do to stop behaving that certain way? What actions do I need to take? Why do I keep blaming other people? I need to forgive other people. I need to forgive myself. How am I seeing the world? What's that minute I'm using my life? Is it a positive, higher one? Because I want to be up here. I want to get over here. I don't want to spend my whole life down here, tick, 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 tick. Am I making any sense? I hope so. If you spend 1 minute on a negative thought, you wasted a minute of your life that's ticking away. And then you're off. And guess what? Wherever you are on that frequency is where you go. I don't know about you, but I am doing my darndest to raise it and raise it. I'm going to completely new places now. I absolutely think of things completely different than I did even last year. It just gets more and more expansive. It gets more and more to the point where you can't even really talk to people about it. I don't even tell you guys half of the stuff because I don't want to lose you because you're not ready to hear some things that are so fantastic. Because maybe you're not ready to believe yet. Maybe you need baby steps. So if this stuff's too fantastic for you, well, go to quantum physics. That's all I'm talking. And a lifetime in a certain human form that you have right now that has a limitation now. Who knows what'll happen in the future? But let's say you have 100 years. How are you going to spend that? Oh my gosh, this was a moment of my time. My precious time on this planet. And the whole purpose of my time here is to raise my frequency. And what am I doing? I'm busy chasing the stuff, and I'm not getting the stuff, and I need the stuff. Right? That's what we do. Been there, done that. I was right in there with you. I had a master come and have a little talk with me. That was a little awakening. And this is why I have all of this stuff. This is why I learned internet marketing, quit my career, everything. I decided, whoa, what am I doing with my time here? Am I just having a great old time and, flipping around the world and, hobnobbing? Or am I going to have a purpose? Am I going to raise my frequency? Am I going to raise the frequency of this planet? I'm going to have a darn good time doing it. My life is just getting better and better and better. More joyful than any time period when I was an investment banker doing all those exciting things. It was fun. But that's a roller coaster of emotions when you rely on the material world to make you happy. When you are aware of your thoughts and you raise your frequency and you switch over and realize there are no problems. There are no enemies. There are only challenges for me and opportunities for me to raise my frequency. You go to the higher frequencies and the floodgates of abundance come in, and what is it? They will be things you didn't expect that are making you happy, and you thought it was the house and the car, and it's going to be something completely different, a lifestyle, just a completely different, let's just say, pathway that you may not have chosen. And then guess what? The cars show up, the homes show up, but you don't really need or care about them anymore. But you have everything you need and desire. The money will flow, but you're going to use it differently because you're on a higher frequency. And you're going to feel so abundant and grateful every day. You're going to be on such a high frequency and you realize, I was looking at the material world to make me happy, and I have everything when I let that go. Let go the people and the situations and what I do and don't have. What are you doing with every minute of your life? It's gone. Tick, tick, tick. Oh, 24 minutes of your life are gone, and mine. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. I love you beyond your imagination. You're incredible. You're beautiful. You're here to make a difference. You're on my channel. That's not a coincidence. Don't unsubscribe. Hey, listen, if I know I put one out every day. You know what? If you don't want to watch one every day, big whoop. But share this message. Share whatever you can with others. Let's raise this frequency of this planet. Everything around you will change. You won't have those challenges anymore because we as a collective are responsible. Namaste.